There we go. Now we're broadcasting. Well, hello world. Welcome to Sparkyzilla85 Presents Live. This is replacing Sparky Vision because I've decided to go with the Sparkyzilla85 name, especially after my sister-in-law made me that cool t-shirt for G-Fest with my Twitter handle on the back. So Sparkyzilla85 is what I'm going to be going with from now on, just to clear up any confusion that anybody may have. Right now I got special guest Dennis Sema. He's been wanting to do one of these hangouts with me for a while and finally got around to doing one. Basically kind of doing this on the fly. Really haven't thought of what we'll be talking about or showing off or whatever, so we'll just be making it up as we go. Let's see here. Well, how about for this premiere episode of Sparkyzilla85 Presents, let me show you my Ultra Act Ultra 7 figure that I got from G-Fest.
Detailed.
Very detailed. Right now I got the wide shots effect on him, and I've got other effects that you can use or different hand gestures. Basically, right here, the hand pops out. Well, on both arms, you can pop out the hands, and you can put in different hands. And there's some other effects which involve popping off the back here, but didn't really want to mess with that. I think I'm pretty much happy with this setup. Although in the future I might change it to when he first transforms and he looks like this. But overall, I am quite pleased with this figure here. Very highly detailed. I would compare this to like a SH Monster Arts figure with how you can pose it. I only got, for, if I remember correctly, I only spent $30 on this thing, so it was a good deal. Let everybody get a good look at him. In case people are wondering, Ultra 7 is my all-time favorite of the Ultramen.
Mine too, actually.
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah, the most iconic theme song, in my opinion.
Yeah, I love the Ultra 7 theme song. That, and I also really like the Return of Ultraman theme for, pardon me, Ultraman Jack. That's another catchy theme song.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, excuse me. Well, actually, speaking of theme songs, where did I put that? I don't know if I ever showed this on the video or not, but I have this 3 CD set of Ultraman theme songs. I got this off of Amazon.com. Oh boy, 2006, 2007, something like that. And at the time, I spent like I don't know, maybe like $45 or something like that for it. And I think the last time I looked it up, it was over $100 or something like that for this set. So I got this for a good deal.
That cover is quite amazing.
Yeah, it has most of the Ultraman theme songs, except for it goes right up to Mevius, but it doesn't have the theme music for Ultraman Nexus, which I can't figure out why. Let's see here if there's anything else.
I don't want to say copyright, but
yeah, maybe that's it. I'm not 100% sure. I'll have to look into it. Maybe it's something I can ask August Ragoni if he knows why. But this, I believe, okay, yeah, this is disc 1 right here. I hate it when that happens, when the discs pop out like that. But this is disc number 2. I forgot to mention the first disc is the newer Ultraman themes, so like Mevius, Tiga, Max, Dinah, the Heisei era Ultraman theme songs, and this is the Showa era, so from Ultra Q up through Ultraman 80. And then disc number 3 are the theme songs from like various Ultraman specials and movies. I can't remember what's all on here because I really haven't listened to this disc in particular a lot. The only one I can remember for sure is the music for the movie Ultraman Earth. But it is a really good collection if you want to get into the Ultraman theme songs. I highly recommend it to anybody who's into that kind of stuff.
Really good collectible.
Mm-hmm. Like I said, now if you want to get this off Amazon, it's really expensive. And then if people have been following me on Twitter or Facebook the last day or two, knows I've been listening to a lot of music, mainly vinyls after I got my Mortification vinyl in the mail the other day. And then today I finally listened to, let me grab it real quick. Today I finally listened to this vinyl that I got from G-Fest. I thought it was various Godzilla themes from the movies, but it's actually Godzilla-related songs with actual artists, singing songs. The first track is, if you remember the movie Godzilla vs. Gigan, at the end of the movie when Godzilla and Anguirus are leaving and that song plays. I can't remember. I think it's called like the Godzilla March or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
It's on the Best of Godzilla 1954 through 1975. And that's
I tried to memorize that song.
Was it?
I tried to memorize that song, actually.
I know like a couple words to it. Oh, no Gujira. That's pretty much what I can remember. But that's the first song on this album. And then the rest of them, I've heard actually on the Kaiju Cast before. I don't know what any of the names of the songs are. And I tried looking up the information for this particular album on the internet, but I'm having trouble finding information. So it was a little bit of a surprise, but a pleasant one at that. And here, let me show the inside.
That is some good photos.
Yeah, it does. Very good photos. And I didn't realize until I was looking at today that this actually has pages that you can flip.
Hedorah, Megalon, Gigan.
Mm-hmm.
That's the Showa era is probably the greatest era, in my opinion.
Yeah, I love the Showa era. Well, that's what I grew up with as a kid.
Yeah.
Showa era movies up to Godzilla 85, and like a lot of people my age didn't realize there were more Godzilla movies until got the internet.
Yeah, 80s and 90s.
Mm-hmm. So the Showa era is what I grew up with. But, I love old Godzilla movies. It's just like a special place in my heart for these films because I just got done actually going through the Showa series on VHS. Godzilla King of the Monsters through Terror of Mechagodzilla. I think this is the first time ever I've watched the Showa series in chronological order. What I'm going to do is I'm going to watch Godzilla 1985 and Godzilla vs. Biollante on VHS, and then for the rest of the Showa series, I'm going to watch that on the Blu-rays that Sony released last year, because a lot of those I have not seen the Japanese version except for Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla 2. That they released the Japanese version, but sadly the subtitles aren't accurate because they're based off the dub and not the actual Japanese language.
Right.
I don't know if that's the case for the Blu-rays or not. We'll just have to wait and see. And then I'll probably just watch all the Millennium series on Blu-ray also, because I think I have seen all of those. Yeah, I know for sure I have seen all of those with the original Japanese language, because for Godzilla 2000, I saw that with the original Japanese language on VCD. I don't know if you're familiar with those or not.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Basically, VCD are video CDs. So it's a movie split up on two CDs because the CD can only hold so much for video.
Oh.
Here, let me grab them real quick. Yeah, these were around early 2000s. This is what I was purchasing at first because it took a while for the rest of the Millennium series after Godzilla 2000 to come out on DVD. Well, at first I was only collecting VHS because that's all I had was a VCR, and then when I got a DVD player, I was disappointed to find out that the stuff from Japan was a different region and you couldn't play it. But luckily, these suckers, these VCDs, can play on most, if not all, DVD players. And my first one was this here, Godzilla vs. Megaguirus. And if I remember correctly, these came from Hong Kong, if I remember correctly. I bought all of these off a website. I don't know if they're still around or not, but they were called pokerindustries.com, and they specialized on foreign Asian DVDs and VCDs and stuff like that. And this was how I was able to watch Godzilla vs. Megaguirus, because if I remember correctly, they didn't release that on DVD here in the US until I want to say maybe 2002, 2003, something like that. So that was a bit of a wait, but I got to see it thanks to these VCDs.
Yeah, many of them went on DVD in like 2004 to commemorate the 50th anniversary.
Yeah, that's right, for the 50th anniversary. I almost forgot about that. But what I have for VCDs, I'm going to make a separate video for this showing off this collection. But what I got is the first 4 movies of the Millennium Godzilla movies. I need a better web camera. Picture quality kind of sucks on this, but give you an idea what they look like.
GMK.
Mm-hmm. One of my all-time favorite Godzilla movies. And I remember the first time I got the TriStar DVD, I was disappointed because the subtitles for the TriStar version of GMK on DVD, and I have confirmed also on Blu-ray, are based off of the dub and not off of the the Japanese version. Because there's a scene when they fire a torpedo with one of those the D3 warhead on it. Godzilla knows it's coming, and then he turns and it latches on the King Ghidorah's neck and explodes. And on this, the actual Japanese version, Admiral Tachibana and I don't know what the other guy's name was. They were not happy that this happened, but with the English dub and the English dub subtitles, to make it sound like that's what they wanted to happen. So I remember the first time I saw it, I was like, no, that is not right. But the funny thing is, for this one, Godzilla against Mechagodzilla, the subtitles that they use for the American DVD and Blu-ray are the same as on here, which completely confuses me. I don't know why they did it like that, but they did. I'm not sure if there's other Godzilla movies on VCD or not. I'll have to do some research. Maybe I can add those to my collection.
I know they did a few with Laserdisc, I believe.
Laserdisc. That's something I haven't gotten into. I think I might, if I do, I might just get them just for the hell of it, just to add to my collection, because I don't know if you can really find a Laserdisc player anymore that, isn't used.
Yeah.
I'd be kind of wary to buy something like that, that's used. Buying, like old used shortwave radios, that's one thing, but newer technology like Laserdisc or like TVs or Blu-ray players, stuff like that, I'm a little bit wary about because that stuff can break down so easily. And just in case my viewers don't know what we're talking about, a Laserdisc basically came in packaging like a record. Basically, it looked like a record. And you can obviously tell why that didn't really catch on. You can definitely tell why DVDs won out in that battle.
Yeah.
Oh, and one more thing before I forget about it. Dark Mephisto X on Google Plus informed me that this King Joe figure that I got from G-Fest is known as King. I think it's King Joe Custom or something like that. I'll have to look it up again, but he's basically a combination of King Joe and King Joe Black from Ultraman Ginga. I think that's what the show is pronounced.
Yeah, I think so too.
Okay. Still haven't watched that series. I'm still watching Ultraman Leo on Crunchyroll. I want to get through older series before I watch some of the newer series, but just wanted to update everybody as to the actual name for this guy right here, because I just thought it was just regular King Joe, but I wasn't 100% sure because I don't remember him having this, laser blaster and Ultra 7.
Yeah, he just had those arms.
Oh, excuse me. Yeah, that's what I thought. There we go. G-Fest this year was amazing. For those who, probably seen my videos, but I actually went for the first time this year and had a blast. I met Bob Eggleton, Richard Iso, Kyle Yant from the Kaiju Cast, and I even met Chris, I don't know how he pronounced his last name, but, Goji Fan 93, which was really cool. So glad to be able to meet all those people.
Must have been a blast.
Yeah, it was a real blast. To drive down, I'm up here in Wisconsin, and G-Fest is down in Illinois, near Chicago. And the drive was all right for the most part until we got close to Rosemont, Illinois, because that's where the Crown Plaza Hotel is. That's where they have G-Fest. And the drive down there was all right until we got near the Rosemont area, and GPS kind of weirded out a little bit, and we missed our turnoff. So we ended up going, I don't know how far we ended up until we finally found another turnoff, and then we had to take all these back roads to get back onto the interstate to find our I hate when I can't think of the right word. This happens when I'm tired, but anyhow, we were able to finally find the right turnoff, and we got to Crown Plaza Hotel, and I could tell that we made it when we got out of the parking garage, and I see all these guys standing around with Godzilla t-shirts, like, I'm here finally.
Yeah.
It was a blast, and the Symphonic Fury concert was absolutely amazing. I can't wait to get the CDs next month. The last post I saw from John DeSantis was saying that they're on track for the CDs coming out next month. So I can't wait to hear that concert again, because I don't know if you know this or not, but that was the first time ever that they played Ko Utani's music from the Gamera trilogy and GMK in a orchestra for the first time. That was the first time this music was played in the West, ever. The same went for Akira Ifukube's Symphonic Fantasia number 1, 2, and 3. That was the first time those three were played here in the West. And there was also another one. It was a march that he made for the Navy during World War II, but I just can't remember what the name of it was.
That's unique.
That was really cool, and you could tell that he borrowed some elements from his music for the Godzilla themes, because part of that military march sounded like the Monster Zero march from Godzilla versus Monster Zero. So that was really cool. That was a great concert, and I was not expecting being able to meet Ko Utani, but I was able to because, excuse me, during intermission between them playing his stuff and then playing Akira Ifukube's stuff, he was shaking people's hands, taking pictures, and my brother said, "You want to go up and see if you could get your picture taken?" I said, "Yeah, why not? You know, worst can happen is he'll say no," but he was nice enough to, you know, take a picture with me, and really friendly guy, real nice guy, and you could tell he was having the time of his life, and I was quite pleased to see that, you know, he was enjoying himself. Can't wait to see what they're going to do for a concert next year.
Yeah, me too.
I know there were some guys behind us in the couple seats back talking about how they'd like to see them do some of like the theme music from various Ultraman series, which
That would be great.
That would be cool, because I have seen on videos from Japan of them doing the Ultra 7 theme song with an orchestra. Heck, I even have videos in my favorites somewheres of a American naval band playing the Ultra 7 theme song.
Yeah, I've seen that.
I'll have to look that up sometime. I know I have that in one of my favorites or playlists on YouTube somewhere, so I just can't remember where.
One of the greatest things about G-Fest, though, is you've been talking to a lot of kaiju fans on Facebook and social media for a couple of years, but you go there and see them in person, it's like an entirely different and superior experience than you have on social media.
Well, it's definitely a lot different talking to somebody face to face than it is, just typing something up on the keyboard, because sometimes, I find it hard to express what I want to say, typing up a message. But if I'm talking to somebody face to face, it's, easier to express, what I want to express, and I can tell, what they're what they're expressing. It's just easier that way. And continue talking about G-Fest, the dealer's room.
Oh my goodness.
That is amazing. I brought along over $200 in cash, and I left with about $17, $18 left. It is not that hard to spend a lot of money there. Although, I will say everything, in my opinion, was, reasonably priced. I didn't see, a lot of stuff, that would say, hey, this is, freaking expensive. In my opinion, it was pretty good. There was one table with like some DVDs. In my opinion, those were a little high priced, but then again, I gotta remember that they have to, recover the costs of buying this stuff, and then shipping it to G-Fest, and then packing it up, whatever doesn't sell and stuff. So overall, the dealer's room was a very good experience. And
Kaiju heaven, basically.
Yeah, pretty much Kaiju heaven. There was quite a long line to get in there, because
oh yeah, oh my god,
it didn't open until I think it was 2:00 Friday, if I remember correctly. And the line stretched, from the doors to the dealer's room, through the hotel, through the lobby, outside the lobby, outside the hotel, into this like patio area. And I told my brother and I told my sister-in-law that, this reminded me of like Black Friday. The only difference is you don't have a bunch of angry people trying to kill each other, trying to get inside.
And no one dies.
And no one dies. It was extremely friendly. Everybody was polite. There was no pushing, nothing like that. It was quite the experience. I'll take a G-Fest dealer's room line to Black Friday, or as I call it now, Black Thanksgiving, because most of your major retailers don't really do anything for Black Friday anymore, which ticks me off because pretty much that's a holiday I can kiss goodbye because, everybody shops on Thanksgiving now.
Mm-hmm. Basically just showing what the first world really is, I guess.
Pretty much. It's a joke.
Oh, yeah.
Although here in Wisconsin, I don't know how this year's Black Thanksgiving is going to go because the Packers are going to be playing that night. Plus, they're going to be retiring Brett Favre's jersey at Lambeau Field. So I don't know how the heck the retailers are going to get around that one because I got a feeling a lot of Packer fans are going to want to stay home and see that game. So maybe this year's Black Thanksgiving will be a little bit slower, but who knows?
Maybe more peaceful, too.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll have to wait and see, I guess. That's a couple months away. Don't really want to think about it.
It's probably safer to just, stay home and shop online, to be honest.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unless you're like me and you work in retail and you have to be there.
I actually remember going on your Google Plus and just seeing that you survived a couple of Black Fridays. That kind of made me laugh, to be honest.
Oh,
bragging rights.
Yeah, that's right. When I first set up my Google Plus account, it said achievements or bragging rights or whatever, and I typed up survived 8 Black Fridays or something like that. Oh, Godzilla. Unless you've actually worked it, it's kind of hard to describe. Basically, sarcastically, I call it our yearly Vietnam. It's a no-win situation for us employees. Especially, like I was saying, now that we have to be doing these sales on Thanksgiving, which is, it's a major league inconvenience because now, everybody who works retail have to reschedule their dinners and everything. And I'm going to go on a little bit of a rant here. What really ticks me off is you get these people saying, oh, well, you got people working in hospitals and police officers and military, and they don't get Thanksgiving off. That is true, but those are essential services to the running of the country. Having a stupid store open so people can buy cheap Chinese crap on Thanksgiving is not essential to the running of this country. So I hate hearing that argument every year. It just, it's like, okay, you smart Alex, try working retail on Black Thanksgiving and then see if you'll still have the same attitude.
It's like a war zone.
Pretty much. I just don't know what it is, but people just become so. The best way I can describe it is animalistic. They're rude, especially to us associates. They're rude. It's just a mess.
Greedy.
It's just a mess. Like I said, I'm not looking forward to it again this year. Oh, man. Well, there's the rant for this video. Tune in next time when I might have something else to complain about.
Yes.
Maybe I'll talk about the elections or something like that.
Elections.
Honestly, well, just for heck, we'll talk about that a little bit. With the election coming up for next year, for either Republican or Democrats, I don't know. Okay, I don't want Hillary. Don't want that. Donald Trump, oh God, he's crazy. But
the only person I kind of liked was Bernie Sanders. But
Bernie Sanders. Oh yeah, I guess he's doing pretty good actually. Excuse me. I guess he's been drawing a lot of people at his campaign rallies. So I don't know. Usually,
he's more leftist, but not my type of leftist.
What was it?
He's more leftist, but not my kind of leftist.
Okay. Personally, I usually go conservative, but there's not really anybody, in the Republicans that I've seen yet that, looks interesting. But then again, I really haven't been paying that close attention because there's like a boatload of people trying to get the Republican tickets. So I don't know. I might just, sit back and just wait a little bit, and maybe I'll start looking into it a little bit more for, who to go with.
Yeah, just wait and see.
Mm-hmm. Let's see here. Well, is there anything that you wanted to talk about?
Well, I wanted to talk about what you think about the new, well, on the topic of Godzilla and just kaiju in general, like what you think about a couple things. The Godzilla game, fan base, and the 2016 movie.
Okay. Well, we'll start with the Godzilla game. I only have a PlayStation 3, so I've only played the PS3 version, which is, pretty stripped down. Overall, for the controls, it took me a little bit to get used to because I'm so used to, use your left stick to move your guy, and then you use the right stick to left, kind of like look around the stuff, and that's how you move around. I wasn't used to using the bumpers to get, your character to turn. So that took me a little bit to get used to, but once I did, I didn't have any problem with it. The graphics, I know people are saying it looks like a PlayStation 2 game, but I don't know. Personally, to me, they look fine. They look a lot better than
Yeah, I agree.
Godzilla Unleashed on the PS2. Godzilla for the PS3 looks a lot better than that. Let's see here. Well, the PlayStation 3 version doesn't have online, which is all right with me because I really don't play online. The only game that I really have played online is Warhammer 40K Space Marine. That one I've played online, but other than that, online multiplayer doesn't interest me. For the game itself, for the PS3 version, you can only play as either the Heisei era Godzilla or the 2014 Legendary Godzilla. And you can only use the Legendary Godzilla in the, I think it's the King of Kaiju mode, if I remember correctly. Basically, it's 6 rounds. You take on 6 different kaiju. And the enemy kaiju roster that you fight in this game is not too bad. You got King Ghidorah, Hedorah, Mechagodzilla 74, Super Mechagodzilla, Kiryu.
Biollante.
I don't think Biolante's in the PS3 version. I think she's only in the PlayStation 4 version, if I remember correctly. But for what it is, it's not too bad of a game. It is a bit repetitive, but I played games like Earth Defense Force and Dynasty Warriors Gundam, so I'm kind of used to kind of having to grind through levels over and over again just to get my whatever to level up so I can kick more butts. So overall, I like the Godzilla game for the PlayStation 3. In my opinion, I didn't care for the $49.99 or whatever heck price it is. Personally, I think the game should be a little bit cheaper than that, but that's just my gripe about it. And just in case people don't know, the PS3 version of the Godzilla game is only available through the PlayStation Network to download. There is no physical copy unless you go and get the Japanese version, which if I understand correctly, should be able to play on the PlayStation 3 because I think we're the same region as Japan, if I remember correctly.
The game really isn't as bad as everyone says it is, in my opinion. It could have been better, but it's okay as it really is. Like, I mean, I was surprised they even added Hedorah in it.
Mm-hmm.
I heard they scrapped King Kong 1962 actually, which is interesting.
That could be. There's that whole copyright mumble jumble, or well, not copyright, but like royalties. If Toho wants to use King Kong, they'd have to pay Universal Studios like a huge amount of money, so that's why you don't really see anything King Kong related with Toho anymore. Which version of the Godzilla game do you have? The PS4 or the PS3 version?
PS4.
PS4, okay. So you got the bigger monster lineup and all that stuff. Eventually, I want to get a PlayStation 4, but for now, I'm content with the PS3 because I wanted to play the Killzone games and the Resistance games. And I'm hoping, what they'll do is like an HD upgrade for the PS4. And if that's what they do, that's probably when I'll get my PS4, because I also want to play Fallout 4 because I am addicted to the Fallout games. There for a while I was replaying Fallout 3 and playing Fallout New Vegas on the same time on my Xbox 360. So I can't wait for Fallout 4 to come out. That's going to be a blast.
I actually never really played Fallout. So I don't know if that's a bad thing, but I want to at least.
I highly recommend the Fallout games. They're highly addicting. You can, and I have spent hours, playing the game because the map that you play on is, huge. There's so much to explore. There's so many buildings to go through. There's so many quests because you'll be on one quest like, hey, can you help me find my dog? And you're going to try to find the dog, and it's like, oh, hey, can you go and take care of these giant mutant spiders and blah, 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 and so forth and so forth. And the only thing else I've played that comes close to it is Borderlands. That's another game where I can spend several hours, playing because there's just so much to do and so much to shoot.
Yeah. I get the concept of Fallout, and it's pretty good, in my opinion.
Yeah, it takes place like 2050s, 2070s, something like that, after basically U.S. and China, start a nuclear war with each other. And then each game, I haven't played the older Fallout games, just Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas, but basically, Fallout 3, you're living in a vault and your dad escapes, so you're go out into the DC wasteland trying to track him down, and you got all these freaking quests going on. Then Fallout New Vegas obviously takes place in Nevada, around the Las Vegas area, and that one, the story is a little bit different. You're a courier, who got screwed over and shot and left for dead. Now you're trying to, track down the idiots who are responsible. And like with Fallout 3, there's all kinds of factions and all kinds of, crap going on to keep you busy. So they're really good games. I highly recommend them to anybody who likes shooters and who likes, games that'll give you a lot to do.
Dystopian type features.
Mm-hmm. Because that's my complaint with games nowadays, with first-person shooters. They seem to concentrate more on the multiplayer aspect than they do the campaign. Some of these campaigns last only about 5 or 6 hours at the most. And personally, I play it for the campaign and the story. I don't really play for the multiplayer, so I'd kind of like to see them go back to longer single-player campaigns. Which I guess it kind of did with the new Wolfenstein game. Wolfenstein, what's it called?
The Order, I think.
Or something like that. Yeah. I think that one's got a longer storyline, if I remember correctly, from the reviews I've seen. Eventually, I want to pick that one up. I think it's down to 1996 now for the last generation consoles, and 29-something for this generation consoles. So that's something I want to pick up eventually. Okay, now for the Godzilla fan base. I know a lot of people has been talking about this lately after GojiFan93 made this video talking about that. Personally, in my opinion, I think the Godzilla fan base is pretty good. Yeah, you got these whiny idiots and these, troublemakers, but, it's the internet, it's to be expected. But, overall, I think the Godzilla fan base is, friendly. Not snobby and stuck up.
The internet basically like makes like pretty much every fan base have like two sides, a good and bad side, essentially.
Pretty much. Well, you're giving idiots basically a way to express their brain dead opinions, and giving trolls a way to cause trouble. But like I said, that's just the internet. It's to be expected. But yeah, overall, I think the fan base is strong. Obviously, there's a lot of excitement for the new Toho Godzilla movie next year, and the next Legendary Pictures Godzilla film. Excuse me.
Yeah.
No, I'm excited for it. And I'm part of the crowd who I have no problem with last year's Godzilla movie. I thought it was really good. I had no problem with the human characters, and I thought the screen time for Godzilla, I thought it wasn't that bad. Especially going into it knowing that Gareth Edwards was taking a Jaws alien-like approach, where he was gonna be restrained and you were gonna have to wait a little bit to see Godzilla. Although I do have to admit, the first time I saw the movie, it was getting a bit anxious. It's like, come on, I want to see Godzilla. But the second time around, when I saw it for the second time, I knew what was coming, so it's like I was able to sit back more and enjoy the film.
The part I didn't like was when like a fight was about to start, but then like zooms out of like a TV or something. That was quite irritating.
Yeah, it was. It kind of threw me off, and it sucks in a little bit, but I can understand what Gareth Edwards was going for. So I'm willing to let it slide. I'm not one of those constantly ranting, oh, Godzilla didn't have enough screen time.
Yeah.
Killed off Bryan Cranston. It's like, oh, I'm so sick of hearing this over and over again.
I think it's... Go on.
Okay, the movie's over with. It's all said and done. There's no way to go back into the past and change it. This is what we got. Just stop complaining already.
Yeah. In my opinion, it's basically how a Godzilla series should start. There shouldn't be a lot of Godzilla. There should be kind of like how the world reacts to these kaiju, essentially making a scene throughout the entire world. That's how I think a Godzilla series should begin. Kind of like 54, but a little bit different.
Okay. Yeah. Well, it's going to be interesting to see how the next Legendary Pictures Godzilla movie turns out, because now that you got to figure the whole world now knows about Godzilla, so I'd like to see, like an international response to Godzilla, because you would think, if Godzilla being out there in the Pacific Ocean, you would have both the Chinese and the Russians like, well, we got to do something about this. We don't want, him coming to shore and, wrecking our cities. Although I guess, I don't know if this is true or not, but I've been seeing some posts online saying that the Godzilla 2018 is going to be taking place in Los Angeles. I don't know if that's true or not.
I doubt that very highly. I mean...
Yeah, same here. I'm thinking it's going to take more of a worldwide approach. I don't know how exactly they would do it, but like I said, now that Godzilla... now that the cat's out of the bag, the rest of the world is going to be reacting to it. And, like I said, that the Chinese and the Russians won't sit back and just let, this giant monster just, roam around their territory, without doing anything. So it's going to be interesting to see how that all works out.
The East and the West would definitely take some action.
Excuse me. Excuse me. Anyhow, now I have a question for you. Do you want to see Aaron Taylor Johnson in the next Legendary Godzilla movie?
In a way, yes, but in a way, no. The way I kind of want him to be in the film would just be someone who, I guess, is traumatized by Godzilla and by monsters in general, because you see him kind of at the end of the film being like, kind of like, well, traumatized essentially, like on the tiny boat.
Okay.
Like flashbacks, maybe even dreams, like maybe even throwing Gabber on, but like just like a PTSD type approach is what I'm saying.
Okay.
Yeah.
Personally, in my opinion, I think they, pretty much played out his story in, last year's Godzilla movie. So I'm kind of hoping with the next legendary Godzilla movie that they concentrate more on Ken Watanabe's character of Dr. Sarazawa.
Yeah.
I'd like to see him have more screen time because in this movie there's probably going to be like part of the international community is going to be like, oh, we gotta destroy Godzilla, and Dr. Sarazawa is going to be part of the scientific community is going to be like, no, we can't destroy him, we gotta basically study him and find find ways of deterring him from invading major cities. I'd like this, like I said, I want to see him return, and I'd also like to see more of that. I can't remember the actor's name, but the Admiral Stens. He was another character that I really liked from the Godzilla movie. Would like to also see Bryan Cranston, but that's not going to happen unless they can somehow write it off that they thought he was dead, but his heart started pounding again. He's alive.
Miraculously.
Yeah. Oh, he survived. But wouldn't be able to do much with his character because he'd still be in a pretty, banged up state. So.
What if he had like amnesia or something?
Yeah, it's like giant monsters. That'd be interesting. Zombie Bryan Cranston.
My God.
Or you could tie this into the Ultraman franchise. Ultraman, takes pity on Joe Brody, and
oh my goodness,
here's the beta capsule, and then Godzilla's fighting like King Ghidorah or something like that, and it's like, oh no, King Ghidorah's going to win, and all of a sudden Joe Brody shows up and.
I would pay to see that, to be honest.
It would be absolutely ridiculous, but I'd love it. Excuse me. Let's see here.
One heck of a plot twist.
Yeah, definitely wouldn't see that one coming. Now for the Toho Godzilla movie that Toho is working on right now. Well, I was quite excited that they got Shinji Higuchi to do the special effects because I loved his work on the Gamera trilogy. I'm glad that it's going to be a mix of practical special effects, suitmation, stuff like that, enhanced with CGI. I've seen over and over again that he said basically he's going to do the same thing as like he did with his Attack on Titan movies, which I guess are doing pretty good. So I'm glad they're going down the traditional special effects route, but I'm also glad that they're incorporating CGI into it, because how pretty much stupid the West is, where it's if it's not CGI they don't want to, or practical special effects, they don't want to watch it because
that's one thing I don't like about the West, because like they're always about like new stuff. They're always about like getting technology more advanced, really, and seeing a practical effects Godzilla movie wouldn't really be good for them, essentially.
Mm-hmm. Well, this is the same crowd that don't watch black and white movies or old movies, period, because they're old and corny, and I'm like, most of my collection are old movies or black and white movies, because that's what I grew up on, and I just love this stuff. And always wanting it to be new, that I don't understand. Well, just look at this here, my Hammerland HQ100A shortwave receiver. This thing was made in the 1960s, and it's still running just fine.
Thing is, those like classic movies are way better than modern films. So that's a fact. Actually.
Well, yeah, because they actually concentrate on the story, and it's not just all special effects, special effects, special effects. Because it seems like that's what, not, I don't want to say all movies are like that, but it seems like that's the main theme of the movie is, oh, hey, look at all these special effects. Oh, you want a story? Well, too bad. We got explosions. Ah, Michael Bay, Michael Bay. Oh, there's a rant to get into what happened to the Transformers movies.
Oh, don't even remind me.
Yeah, I'm not even going to get into that one. maybe for next time.
Yeah.
But
I actually want... Oh, go on.
Well, I just wanted to say, overall, I am very excited for the new Toho Godzilla movie, and I can't wait to see it next year. I know I've seen some rumors that, possibly that this will be released theatrically here in the U.S., and I hope that's true, because I'm going to be so anxious to see that movie.
Yeah. I also saw some Toho Kaiju in it. Well,
Mm-hmm.
some obscure ones, like Varan would be interesting to see, and maybe even Anguirus, or...
That actually would be pretty cool to see. If this new Toho Godzilla movie goes over well, I kind of hope that they would kind of, reboot their, other, tokusatsu movies and kaiju movies, kind of do like a remake of the Mysterians or something like that. Or like you said, Varan the Unbelievable. In my opinion, that's got to be like the most underrated Toho kaiju film, because you don't see a lot of people talking about Varan, but in my opinion, that's a really good movie. One of my favorite Toho sci-fi films, actually.
Yeah, Varan is a very unique and good kaiju.
Mm-hmm.
Like Varan.
Now I got a question for you. Would you like to see Legendary Pictures, besides doing Godzilla movies, would you like to see them do individual kaiju movies like Mothra or Rodan? Or just stick to having them in, Godzilla movies?
I wouldn't really enjoy Legendary making like kaiju films which don't have Godzilla in it, because not many people would possibly see them. They could. Yeah, that's because I want them to appear in, just like Godzilla movies, alongside Godzilla, really, because like there was this failed rumor that a Gamera movie was going to be released in 2015, and that's obviously, well, not true at all. But if they were to make a Gamera film to be released in the US, they wouldn't really pull it off unless it was like a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles thing,
Yeah. I don't know. I kind of think there is a possibility for non-Godzilla kaiju to get their own movies here in the U.S., because right now there is an interest in giant monster movies, because, well, you got Pacific Rim, and they got the Pacific Rim sequel coming up. You had Cloverfield a couple years ago, and I guess J.J. Abrams is talking about doing another, giant monster movies. So
I hope it's not found footage.
Yeah, I'm hoping it's an actual movie and not, found footage, because I liked Cloverfield, but just for one movie it's all right, but for like a series, no.
Yeah.
But let's see, what was I saying? Oh yeah, and plus we got Kong of Skull Island coming up for 2017. I think that's coming out, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, 2017.
Okay.
I believe Samuel L. Jackson will be in the film too.
Yeah, I saw something the other day that they're talking to him right now, because if I remember correctly, originally they had like Michael Keaton and somebody else, but those two just dropped out. But at least they still have Tom Hiddleston, so that's cool.
Yeah.
Personally, I'd like to see Tom Hiddleston and maybe even Chris Pratt in a future, Legendary Pictures Godzilla movie. That would just be so awesome. That's why I said to my brother after we got done watching Jurassic World, I said, I want to see him in the Godzilla movie. Oh yeah, that's right. Plus Jurassic World 2 is coming out the same year as Godzilla 2, so
same month.
Yeah, same month. So we got plenty of interesting movies the next couple of years to talk about and to watch.
I actually want to take an interest in collecting VHS tapes, specifically classic monsters, like Universal monsters and 50s horror films.
Well,
VHS seems it's awesome.
It is, and well, luckily, you know, VHS tapes, as you can see from my bookshelf back here, for the most part on eBay, you can get them for pretty cheap. Most of what you see back here, I purchased back in 2013, and that's while being unemployed. I was collecting unemployment, and yet I was still collecting, you know, Godzilla movies. Well, that all started when I got my DVD VCR combo for $5 from Goodwill. So I thought, oh, what the hell? I got this, you know, VCR. Might as well start buying the VHS tapes. So it is, it's pretty easy, in my opinion, to collect Godzilla movies and even old sci-fi monster movies on VHS. Because a couple times there was these, you know, like 50 VHS tapes for like $50. Well, that comes out to $1 per tape, so that's a great deal, and you might even find, you know, better deals than that on eBay. So, yeah, I highly recommend it. The first, if I remember correctly, one of the first VHSs I got was actually that VHS set. This one that I'm pointing out here, it was released by. I can't remember who exactly released it, but it's it's 5 movies, and when you put the tapes together, I don't know how well my camera's picking it up, but it's the
the 1984.
Yep, the 1984 Godzilla. Now the funny thing about that set is there's like 2 different sets. One set has I think it's like Godzilla versus Megalon or something like that. Whereas the set that I have doesn't have that one.
What's funny about that VHS tape was people people thought it was public domain. Companies thought it was public domain.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. There's like, James Rolfe, the Angry Video Game Nerd, actually talked about once. The various Godzilla versus Megalon VHS tapes are out there, and even some DVDs, because you know these companies thought that the movie was. Like you said, public domain, and Toho came in and said, no, it is not public domain. Well, once I had this DVD, I can't remember if I got it off eBay or if it was off Amazon.com, but it was Godzilla versus the Smog Monster, the actual AIP dub, and Godzilla versus Megalon, and it was both movies on one disc. And for some reason, all of a sudden, I had it for like a couple years, and then all of a sudden, the DVD just stopped working, and I talked to Bob Eggleton, and he said the same thing happened to him, so I don't know what the heck happened there. But it was kind of disappointing because, you know, if you get the DVD or Blu-ray version of Godzilla versus Hedorah, you're getting the international dub and not the AIP dub, which has, you know, the Save the Earth song. So that's one reason why I'm glad I have the VHS tape of Godzilla versus the Smog Monster.
It's kind of sad, though, that a lot of films are public domain. I mean, just look at Night of the Living Dead.
Oh,
it's just, yeah.
Yeah, that one amazed me when I found out that one was public domain. But last year I watched a documentary about Night of the Living Dead on Netflix, and George Romero basically explained basically they had like 2 different names, and when they went to like register it, they used the wrong one, and you know, Night of the Living Dead was how it was, you know, distributed at theaters, so that's how it's you know, public domain. That was an interesting documentary about, you know, how that film was made. But yeah, it's amazing some of the stuff that's in the public domain. Well, I've got these. You can get them pretty much anywhere. It's like you get like 50 movies for like maybe $15-20, and some of the stuff that's in there, that's in the public domain, it's amazing. Some of it I can understand because some of these they're just complete and utter crap, and I can understand why it's in the public domain. But like the Peter Cushing, Christopher Lee movie, Horror Express. That's a really good movie, and I think they actually released it on Blu-ray like maybe a year or two ago, with actual high definition, picture quality. Actually, that's one of those I want to pick up.
Right.
I've got it in my Amazon.com wish list. Yep, that's one of those.
Yeah. a lot of these are terrible though. I mean, like.
Yeah. Well, here, let me grab my copy real quick so I can see what's all on it.
It's like Nosferatu is on here. It's like.
Yeah, Nosferatu, that's a good movie. I'm really disappointed that they're talking about making a remake of that one. To me, that is just stupid. How can you remake a classic silent film?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, Phantom of the Opera's on here with Lon Chaney Sr.
It's sad because some of these are good, actually. Last Man on Earth was Vincent Price.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
House on Haunted Hill is also good.
That's a classic. What's the director's name? He did those kind of movies.
William Castle.
That's it, William Castle. I love those movies. House of Haunted Hill, Tangler, 13 Ghosts.
Roger Corman to make like Edgar Allan Poe stories in like the early '60s with Boris Karloff and Peter Lorre and Peter Lorre.
And Vincent Price. Yeah, I have most of those. Although I wasn't expecting The Raven with Vincent Price, Peter Lorre, and Boris Karloff. I wasn't expecting that one to be a comedy. That one kind of caught me off guard, but it was. I still enjoyed the movie. In my opinion, Boris Karloff and Peter Lorre, they do comedy well. Because those two were in a movie in the 40s called. I'll have to look it up again, but I believe it's called The Boogeyman Will Get You, or The Boogeyman Is Coming to Get You, something like that.
I've heard of that movie.
It is funny. It's on one of those Boris Karloff collections from Sony Pictures, and basically Boris Karloff is playing the scientist who's trying to basically turn ordinary people into Supermen, because World War II is going on, so he's trying to create Supermen so he can go and defeat the Nazis, and all the people he tests his machine on, they end up dying. So he keeps, trying to find the right person or trying to perfect his machine to make it work. And Peter Lorre, he plays basically he's the town sheriff, the town doctor, the town mortician, and all these other titles. It's too hard to explain everything, but it's just a hilarious movie. If you haven't seen it yet, make sure you check it out.
Classic horror is the best.
Mm-hmm.
Nowadays, all reboots, remakes, CGI.
Yeah. That drives me crazy how they're rebooting everything. It's like, come on, there's so much, come up with original ideas. Like Pacific Rim. To me, that movie was great. Sure, some of the concepts behind it, like the giant mechs and the kaiju stuff. Yeah, that it was inspired, but still, it was original movie. You didn't see anything else in 2013 that was like that, and it still, to this day, pisses me off that the critics are like, "Oh, you should go and see Grown Ups 2 instead."
Oh my!
That still pisses me off. That's why, to this day, still, I hate Adam Sandler's guts. Every time I hear
Pixels was awful, in my opinion.
That's what I've heard. I don't know. To me, I saw the trailer for it, and I kind of thought, well, this has potential, but it's like, it's Adam Sandler, so fuck you. But yeah, like I said, after that whole thing back in 2013 with, go see Grown Ups 2 instead. It's like, oh.
Adam Sandler actually disrespected a lot of Native Americans while making a film. Actually.
Yeah, I heard something about that. I forgot which critic I was watching said, I can't understand how he's still able to make movies. basically been doing the same stupid, shtick since the 90s. And yet, studios are still giving him money to say, here, make a movie.
Yeah.
Doesn't make any sense to me. But I'm actually quite surprised, but still thrilled that they're actually going to be making a second Pacific Rim movie. Because, as you remember, when the first Pacific Rim came out, a lot of the critics were bashing it and stuff like that. And all those kaiju fans were like, you guys are idiots. But I'm glad that, the movie did well enough that Guillermo del Toro was able to make a sequel. And if I remember correctly, they're going to start shooting in November, if I remember correctly.
Huh.
I think that's what the last article I saw said. They're going to start filming in November. So,
That's good.
Can't wait for Pacific Rim 2. Now, I think you might know a little bit more about this than I do, but from what I've been seeing, Universal Pictures is going to be rebooting their classic monster movies.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't really understand this because first they said it was going to be like action adventure type reboot, which I really wasn't a fan of at all. But now they're saying it's like horror, and now I'm more for the horror, but like it's kind of like they're like trying to think of what they're going to do with it. I heard that the Mummy movie is basically going to be like U.S. soldiers in Iraq, and they, from what I am guessing, they find something. That kind of sounds like something we see nowadays with horror films, you know?
So these films are going to take place in modern times?
Yeah. Well, that's what with the Mummy, yeah, they could do that. I feel like what they're going to do, and I kind of wish they would do, would be like the first film would be modern times, like in a series. Like, let's say they make a Creature from the Black Lagoon film. And Scarlett Johansson might be in it, and it takes place in modern times. But like the sequels explain like how the creature became the creature and took place in like, let's say 1954 or 55, essentially.
Okay.
I really don't know what they're gonna do with it, but I just hope that it'll be horror, and I hope that it'll be an homage to the old Universal monsters classics, which will never die and will always be the kings of horror, in my opinion.
Yeah, those movies are classics. I love those movies.
I can listen to the soundtrack for hours.
Those I haven't listened to tell you the truth. The only movie soundtracks I really have listened to are, the Godzilla movie soundtracks. But maybe that's something I should start getting into. As if I don't have enough stuff for my various collections. Well, actually, nowadays for music, I'm starting to get more into just getting buying the digital copies. Pretty much now, the only time I get like an actual CD is if it's something that I really, really want, or it's from the band that I really like. Well, like with this album here, it's some Christian death metal from Sweden. Pretty much that's, for the most part, that's the only thing I'm actually going to buy on actual CD now. That or actually Clutch's upcoming album, Psychic Warfare, coming up in October. That one I'm going to get on CD also.
Yeah, that's a good title, Psychic Warfare.
You should see the album art for that one. It's a picture of it's got to be a battleship from some European country, and it's got this really cool statue on it between the main guns. I just don't know, which country this thing came from, but yeah, Psychic Warfare. That's just an excellent title. But anyhow, like I was saying, when it comes to music nowadays, pretty much I'm going for the MP3 route because, well, I'm running out of space until I can get my brother and my sister-in-law in here because we're gonna try redoing my room here with shelving and stuff so I can better space out my various collections because as of right now I'm starting to run out of space. That's why I mostly go for right now the smaller Godzilla stuff like this because it doesn't take up as much space.
What about X Plus?
Yeah, like X Plus. I'd love to get another X Plus Godzilla, but right now, I don't know where I would put the thing. Once I get like shelving up on the walls and stuff, and I can spread out my collections and stuff, then I can get another one. And another dilemma of mine right now is I'm with my my radio desk over here. I got most of my radios here, and well, obviously, being the radio nut that I am, I want to get some more radios, but I'm running out of space, especially if these. Here, let me tilt the camera a bit. These two boat anchor radios here, these classic tube type radios. These things take up a lot of space.
All I'm thinking about right now is like UVB76.
The Russian buzzer.
Yeah.
I still haven't heard that one, personally here on one of my radios. I have on the web SDR of University of Twente in the Netherlands. Usually when I tune in to 4625 kilohertz, there's some loud buzz being interference being generated from something here in the house. So I'm going to have to grab one of my portables, like my my Texan PL880 here, and go outside like at night and see if I can pick it up then.
That sounds pretty cool. I don't really know much about those though, but like all I really know is like number stations, like from Cold War.
Mm-hmm.
The bloop, I think it's called, from the Pacific Ocean or something like that. It's like frequencies and signals, specifically like creepy ones, are kind of up my alley, to be honest.
Mm-hmm. Well, a lot of them are used by governments to transmit information to either like spies or to like submarines or whatever. Well, at the UVB-76, nobody knows for sure what the hell that thing is for. Some people figure that thing would ever stop. That would mean the missiles are flying. Nobody knows 100% for sure what these all signals are for. Like HM01, the Cuban number station. That one you can hear several times a day on several frequencies on the shortwave bands. I actually have a couple videos I've shot of that one. That has to be the easiest, in my opinion, of the number stations to pick up here in North America.
Cuba.
But yeah, I think tonight sometime I might try going outside with one of my radios to see if I can pick up the Russian buzzer, because I'd love to actually hear that one personally on one of my radios and not on a web SDR.
I've heard that you can actually hear a woman screaming in the background, which quite eerie, but
that is interesting. I have I remember that once. I've seen a couple videos on YouTube about number stations. It's quite interesting.
I feel like it's something I would do, just like make a signal and then like play old monster movies in the background and then like put like strange audio from Jack in the Box, so I could like kind of like troll the governments and like people all over the world. I would do that. I don't know. It's just like.
Well, if you had the equipment and knew how to, knew when to broadcast at the right time, you could do that on like the pirate station, pirate radio band, or that's what we call it for the pirate radio stations. Usually, like to broadcast. It's from about 6.7 megahertz to close to the 40-meter ham band, which is at 7 megahertz. In between there, you get a lot of the pirate stations like the Crystal Ship, Radio Free, whatever, and other stations like that. Oh, excuse me. So yeah, if you were ever to try something like that, that'd be the best place to go. Or, or what you could do is you could go up to like the CB radio band, 26.950 megahertz to 27.450 megahertz, if I remember correctly. Pretty much all that is up there is basically it's a bunch of people with overpowered transmitters talking in what sounds like, to me, jive talk. It's a mess. Yeah, you still have some people legitimately using the CB radio band to communicate, but most of the time it just sounds like a mess. I don't know if I can pick up anything real quick to give an idea what it sounds like. Okay, nothing right now. There's certain times of the day where you can hear them all up and down the CB radio band, and it's yeah. Let me see if I can do an impression what it sounds like.
What if you heard Megalon or Baragon?
Oh, that would be cool. I would get my webcam on so quick and film that as quickly as I possibly could if I ever heard anything like that. But basically, on the CB radio band, you get a lot of these guys that, like I said, with the overpowered transmitters, and they kind of sound like something like this. I'll try to do my best impersonation. Well, Belly Bob, I got the corn-fed horse and the mule and the kicking and the cows and the ZDDBDBoo. Basically, it kind of sounds something like that. It's basically you're speaking a whole bunch of nonsense, and I can't figure out why. Basically, you spend all day long, broadcasting this crap, and I can't figure out why they're doing that. Because you gotta figure, with more powerful transmitters, you're using more electricity, and this radio equipment, it can't be cheap. So you're spending all this money to basically get on the airwaves and speak nonsense. I can't figure it out. It's like these idiots. There's some ham operators on certain frequencies. All they do is they just get on and they rant and rave and they swear and call people names and think it's their right to use every vulgar word under the sun. And it just doesn't make any sense, especially now that FCC is going in and finding some of these idiots like $22,000 and taking away their equipment and stuff like that. It's like, why? Although there is this one idiot up in Canada. He's been on, and he's been doing this for years on 14313, and the Canadian version of the FCC, I think it's called like Industry Canada or something like that. They've done nothing about it. He's another one of those where he'll just get on and be as vulgar as can be. I don't know if those idiots are on right now. See if I can tune it in real quick. Oops. Yeah, not coming in that strong right now. Yeah, I think the one guy's from like Vancouver, Canada, or something like that. There's a couple frequencies on the amateur radio bands where you got these bunch of idiots who basically all they get on and they swear and stuff. Like this one group I was listening to a couple months ago on 80 meters. It was on 3843 kilohertz. It was called the Patriots Net. And basically, with amateur radio, you're not supposed to broadcast like a normal commercial station would. It's supposed to be for two-way communication. Well, what this idiot was doing was getting on and reading all these basically like this like super right-wing literature and talking about how he'd like to go out and kill the president and kill everybody who doesn't agree with them and to get all this, redneck getting on
pleasant.
And stuff. But that was entertaining, but yet again, he was another one of these idiots who thinks, it's his right to get on the air and, use every profanity in the book over the air, which, if you know anything about amateur radio is, any kind of transmissions is strictly prohibited. You're not supposed to be using that language. And like I said, you keep getting these idiots who think, it's their right to use this kind of language, and it just baffles me.
I'd just rather use audio from monsters.
Yeah. Well, actually,
It's like hearing Godzilla.
actually, if you wanted to, and if you had the money to, you could actually buy some airtime on the shortwave station WBCQ and have your own show. That's what I did a couple of years ago. I actually had my own program called Sparkyvision, and the nice thing about that was I could talk about any subject I wanted. I could play any kind of music I wanted. Actually, I was wrong. On shortwave, you could play music where they're swearing, because on a couple episodes of Sparky Vision, I played Insane Clown Posse and Cannibal Corpse and stuff like that, and went on some very angry rants. And but yeah, if you wanted to, you could actually do your own show on WBCQ. If all you wanted to do was just play kaiju roars and stuff like that, you could.
It's like hear Gabbro.
Yeah. Don't know what kind of audience you would get, but you could do it.
Good. Scare people, I guess.
Uh-huh. I don't know what they're charging anymore. When I had my own show on WBCQ, and this was, let's see here, trying to remember, the last time I had my show was back in 2010, and it was an hour-long show, and it was, I think it was like $80 for 1 hour of airtime, if I remember correctly. I don't know what Alan Wiener is charging now for airtime. I know you can get it cheaper if you go on if you have your show on 5110 programming block. They know it known as Area 51. Those rates are cheaper, but really couldn't say for sure what they're charging. I have thought about from time to time bringing back Sparky Vision to WBCQ, but right now I just really can't afford it. I just got done paying off some major bills for car repairs, and there's other stuff I got to take care of. I want to get a new webcam. I want to get a new camcorder. Plus, I want to get some additional accessories for my radio setup here. As you can tell, I have... I got 7 radios here and just one antenna switch, and that's 3 positions. So I can only have 3 radios hooked up at one time. So eventually I want to get either a 4 or 6 position switch, so I can have all my radios hooked up at once. Now, some people may wonder why do I have all these radios and why I want them all hooked up at once. And the answer is, each radio is going to be a little different. Each one is going to sound a little bit different. Each one is going to be able to pull in signals differently. It's just fun to see, how each one can handle. For instance, these 3 here, these are my main radios for shortwave listening. And then these 4 over here, these are my secondary radios. This one here, the Realistic DX160, and this one here, the Helicrafters S40B. Excuse me. I just have those hooked up just to what is known as, excuse me, random wire antennas, which is basically just a long piece of wire running from the radio outside, which is all right. You get some signals, but you also get in, more interference, which, in this place, sadly, I get a lot of. I'm hoping if we do move next year, wherever we move to, it's going to be a quieter location when it comes to radio interference. But anyhow, it's, fun having different radios and different antenna setups just to see what you can listen to.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Actually, now I think of it, I want to listen to China Radio International tonight with that big explosion that they... What the heck? Sounded like a horn. Anyhow, there was a big explosion at a port in one of these Chinese... one of these cities in China, and I want to listen to China Radio International tonight and hear some more about it.
I saw a picture of that. Looks like a nuke or something.
Yeah, I was up on Russia Today's website, and they had a video of it from a couple of different cameras, and holy crap, that was a huge explosion. I guess it was a boat full of explosives from from what I read. So, going to be interesting to hear, what happened and what set off the explosion.
Yeah. Hope it's not like a terrorist attack or something.
Yeah, hard to say.
Well, do you know like what part of China it is? Because I know like in Western China, there's like this jihadist or Islamic type uprisings going on.
Yeah. I'm not 100% sure. It gave the name of the city where this took place, but it didn't say where in China it is.
Oh, okay.
Obviously, if it's on a boat, it's got to be, at a port, so it's got to be close to open water. So I'm thinking it's probably either like the eastern or maybe like southern part of China. Something's close to either like the Pacific or, I don't know if is China close to like the Indian Ocean. I can't remember for sure.
Yeah. I mean, if it's like kind of is touching South Asia, so I guess.
Okay. Yeah, it kind of looks like they would if what I'm seeing on this map is accurate. So yeah, personally, I think, like I said, I don't have all the details. I'm thinking it was either in the eastern or the the southern part of China, whatever's closest to the sea or the the ocean.
Yeah.
Ooh, well, do you have any other subjects you want to talk about?
Well, yeah. Are you familiar with the Universal Monsters Classic Collection for VHS?
Yeah, actually, I do. I own a couple of them. Let's see here if I got any here on my desk I can show you. No, I think those are... Okay, I don't have any in here. I think those are on my in my TV stand. But yeah, I have a couple of those tapes.
I've just been like eyeing them and making like a collection of those. Yeah.
Well, hold on, phone's going off. Damn Charter Communication. They're still trying to get me to get hooked up with their cable TV and their telephone.
Oh.
I just have their internet, which is good enough with me because I don't really watch anything on TV anymore. It's either streamed via various internet streaming sources or DVD, VHS, VCD, whatever.
The only time I really watch TV is either when the Twilight Zone's on, like early mornings, or just like Courage, Cowardly Dog.
Oh, that's the one thing I would like to have TV for is like with over-the-air digital broadcasts that you get with the antenna. You can get in Me TV, which shows all the classic TV shows, and then you got these other channels that show classic movies. That's the one thing I would like to be able to have, but sadly, where I'm located, is that smoke? Huh.
Smog monster.
There's some smoke coming from across the street. Okay, looks like some kids. Looks like some kids with some fireworks or something. Anywho, like I was saying, where I'm located in this house, where my bedroom is located, I just can't get anything with an indoor antenna. So what I'm going to start looking into is seeing if I can make my own homemade outdoor TV antenna, since my homemade outdoor shortwave antenna works pretty good. Going back to the Universal Monsters VHS tapes, are there any particular movies that you're looking for right now, or just any of them, or just all of them? Or I'm getting tired, so I can't speak right.
Really, all of them, because I just really want to get into like vintage collectibles, to be honest.
Okay.
Like, I mean, they're not that vintage, like only 90s, but
Okay. Well, I believe I think I did a search for those Universal Monster movies on VHS once on eBay here, and I think one seller had all of them for I think it was like over $100 or something like that,
Yeah.
which really isn't too bad if you consider it. Well, here, let me just do a quick search on eBay. VHS tapes.
I'm actually making a sequel to The Wolfman. I've written a script and I've begun shooting, but filmmaking is pretty good art.
Mm-hmm. Okay, it doesn't look like they have that up here, but I'm seeing a lot of the movies individually. They're ranging from anywhere from excuse me, $2.99 per tape to the most I'm seeing for an individual Island of Lost Souls for $79. Oh, here it is. Universal Monsters lot of 44 VHS tapes. Oh, $324.99, but does have free shipping and handling.
You know what's funny though? It's like you go on eBay and then you see something that, like, for example, like a rare Godzilla figure, which is like $20-$25, and then you look at the shipping, it's like $80 or something like that. Like,
Oh, yeah, I've seen that several times. That just blows my mind. Or some of these ridiculous prices you see for out of print movies. It's like, let's see here. Trying to think here, something that's out of print right now. Oh, like the TriStar Godzilla DVDs, Godzilla versus Gigan. I've seen that one up on eBay going for about like $60-$70. It's like, that's just insane. You know,
they should re-release those actually.
They should. Well, they sort of, because last year that was that like Kraken Media or something like that. They released those 3 movies on Blu-ray: Godzilla vs. the Sea Monster, Gigan, and Hedorah, if I remember correctly. Actually, I think they released those both on Blu-ray and DVD, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. These movies are alright, to be honest.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I have no problem. I have no problems with DVD.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Intriguing. Box art is original posters or like box art is pretty good actually.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's why what I liked about the those Kraken Media DVDs and Blu-rays. They have the original posters. The TriStar Blu-rays and well, I know the DVDs had different artwork, but I think the Blu-rays had the same artwork as the DVDs, which are all right, but kind of prefer to have the original poster. That's why I have started purchasing the Godzilla movies through Video Dai Kaiju on DVD, and as you know, those are bootlegs. But I figure, why not? I've already supported the official release about all the whatever's been released here in the U.S., so now I'm just going through and just buying whatever Video Dai Kaiju's got. That's what I do also with the Ultraman movies. That's where I get them from, Video Dai Kaiju. And I've said over and over again, if these ever become, if they're ever released officially here in the U.S., I'll go and buy those too, just to support the official release.
Yeah, I hear you. You know what they should begin doing? Just like release DVDs with like tiny posters of the film, basically. That'd be kind of interesting.
That would be cool. Actually, sometimes when you put in an order with Video Dai Kaiju, they'll send you a couple mini posters. Actually, I might be. Hold on a second. I think my folder with those are right over there. Let me grab that real quick. Okay, yeah, here it is. Let me turn on my lamp here because I know. Okay, that should go. Okay, like this mini poster here for Godzilla Final Wars. This came with the DVD that I got from Video Daikaiju. Well, actually, it was a 4-disc set. It was the movie, 2 discs with special features, and the soundtrack. I got that. This one, if I remember correctly, this didn't come from Video Daikaiju. This came with off of eBay. It came with I think it was the first issue of the Marvel Godzilla comic, and the guy threw in a Thailand bootleg copy of Godzilla Final Wars on DVD, which also came with this poster. I also got this Rebirth of Mothra poster. This also came from
It's a good series.
Video Daikaiju. Yeah, I love the Rebirth of Mothra movies. I know some people complain about them being kids' movies, but they're still good, you know, special effects. The stories aren't that bad, and I don't have any problems with kids' movies, you know, because sometimes you need something happy and cheery because, you know, life sucks sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
But check out the mini poster for Ultra Galaxy Legend Mega Monster Battle or something like that's the title of the movie. I still remember the first time I saw this movie. Completely blew me away. Because that's the movie that Tsuburaya Productions did with the help of Warner Brothers, so they had extra money to spend on special effects, and they put it to good use.
Mm-hmm.
And then here's the mini poster for Ultraman Zero Revenge of Belial, if I remember correctly, is the title of the movie.
Isn't Zero the son of Ultra 7?
Yeah, he's the son of Ultra 7. And then I believe this movie is called Ultraman Saga, if I remember correctly. This one and Ultraman Zero, The Revenge of Belial, I haven't watched those yet. This, I have no idea what this is called, but I like this poster so much I kept it. Don't know what the movie is or what the characters are. I'll have to do some research sometime.
Tokusatsu is intriguing.
It's amazing. Well, speaking of Tokusatsu, I got a Kamen Rider mini poster here. I think I might have 2. Oh, no, I got a double of the Ultraman Saga. And just for a heck of it, here's a autograph from Haru Nakajima. Armin Vacher got me this from G-Fest a couple years ago. I got Haru Nakajima's autograph. I also have Kenji Sahara's and Robert Scott Field's autographs. So, yeah, there's some more of my Godzilla collection I haven't showed off yet. I'll have to do a proper video sometime because, according to the viewer count, we only have one person watching. So, I'll have to do separate videos showing off some of this stuff some other time.
Yeah.
Yeah, one person watching and all the other people I invited didn't join. Oh, well. I guess if I would have advertised this ahead of time, I would have got more people to join, but oh well.
I could actually advertise for you. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I can even make, like, posters or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, see if we can get some more people to talk next time. I tried getting Barney Buckley in here, but he must be busy.
Probably.
What's going on out there now? Oh, okay. More fireworks.
Have you ever made, like, a miniature city for your Godzilla figures, or just for fun?
Yeah, when I was a kid, it was with Legos. Well, there's one time when I was a kid, I took my Godzilla figure and I tore apart my brother's various Lego sets. I was not happy with that one. But if I had more space for my Godzilla stuff, I would like to do kind of like a diorama, set up some buildings, and put in, you know, one of my figures, like try not to. Stuff's already tipping over. Like my NECA Godzilla 1985 figure. Also $30 from G-Fest. I know some people...
I actually attempted...
Was it?
Go on.
Well, I was just going to say, I know some people, don't like this figure, but, personally, I don't think it's that bad. Yeah,
I see no problem with it.
It's not an X+, but, it's still got that, derpy-looking face when you're looking at him from the front, and, it looks pretty cool to the side. It looks like, the Godzilla that we saw in, Godzilla 1985 or, Return of Godzilla or whatever you want to call the movie.
I actually attempted to get the Memorial Box Godzilla set, but failed.
Oh, the one that they released in 2004 for the 50th anniversary?
Yeah. I
can only imagine how much that thing must cost.
The cheapest one I found was like $700.
Oh, good gravy. If
like
if I were to get that, I would definitely run out and get one of those region-free DVD players so I could actually watch the DVDs, because it would kind of suck just to have them sitting there and actually, want to watch them. That's why I'm kind of hesitant on, like I was talking before, getting those Godzilla laser discs. I'd actually want to watch the thing, not just have the thing sit there and collect dust.
Yeah.
Maybe sometime in the future.
There's just so much collectibles out there for kaiju that we probably don't even know about,
Yeah, ain't that the truth? And so much of it right now is so pricey because there's quite the demand for Godzilla and kaiju stuff with all the new movies and stuff. That's the one nice thing about the slow period in between 2004 and 2014. The prices weren't as bad on eBay because, collecting had kind of slowed down because there really wasn't a whole lot going on Godzilla-wise. Yeah, you had some comics and you had some figures and stuff like that, but other than that, it was kind of quiet. But right now, prices are a bit high on eBay, but I still have found a couple of deals. Well, like these Godzilla dioramas I've been buying from this guy in Japan off of eBay. These have been running about like $12, $13 a piece, which isn't too bad. And I think he only charges like maybe $3 or $4 shipping and handling, which, coming all the way from Japan, that's a good deal. It takes a while. It takes almost a month or so for it to arrive in the mail, but other than that, I can't complain. Needless to say, I'm following the guy on eBay, and I try to buy a little something here and there, but right now I got some big bills I'm taking care of, so my spending has kind of stopped for the moment. Well, anything major, I did pick up some Warhammer books just because they were real cheap. Yeah, I'm big into Warhammer 40K. Well, not the tabletop game, but like the lore in the books and the video games. I looked into the tabletop game, and one, it's expensive. Two, you have to paint your own miniatures, and three, it just didn't really look like my cup of tea. I'm not really into, let's say, like tabletop gaming or board gaming. I'd rather play a video game.
Like people were to set it up, and then one kid that you'll be playing with, and you just took it out with the Warhammer game, and they would say, "Oh, hey, my mom's calling, and I gotta go home." Just like they don't want to do anything. They don't want to. Sorry, what's the word for it? They don't want to have anything to do with it because it's just so large, and then it takes a lot of time to paint and everything like that.
Yeah, it's quite the there's quite a lot of time involved with the hobby. Like I said, that's why I'm just content with reading the books and playing the video games. I'm happy with that, especially the Horus Heresy series. I just recently picked up the 30th book in that series. Although I'd have my one complaint right now with the Horus Heresy series is the story has kind of ground to a halt. Not a whole lot has happened since the Drop Site Massacre, and pretty much everybody's anxious and excited to get to the Siege of Terra and Horus fighting the Emperor and stuff like that. So, kind of wish they would kind of pick up the story and get going, because, like I said, right now it's kind of ground to a halt.
Yeah.
But at the sit back and wait, I guess.
Wait and see.
Yep, pretty much. Excuse me. Oh, man. What's that? Oh, okay. Oh, crud. Well, I think I'm going to call it quits for tonight. I'm getting kind of tired. Want to go and do something else now.
All right.
Had a blast talking to you. I'm glad we finally got around to doing one of these.
Yeah, me too.
Nice to be able to do a live stream again.
Pretty healthy talk.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, pretty good conversation. I can't remember when we started this, but this probably about 2 hours now or something like that, almost. Which isn't too bad. Which most good live streams I've noticed usually last about 2 hours or so. Usually after the 2 hour mark, things seems to kind of like peter out and the stuff. So usually a good time to end it.
Yeah, that's true.
Okie dokie. Well, gonna end the broadcast. Thank you, Dennis, for joining in on the conversation. I want to say thank you, everyone, for watching, the one viewer I had, and maybe people rewatching this in the future. Hope everyone had a good time. And as always, peace and all that good stuff.